That is the solution you get coming. He talks of the drain in Clare Valley, in the hospital. Mr. Speaker, let me put it on the records of this House again. You know since when the hospital started to flood? Mr. Speaker, anybody remember? You remember there was a main road coming from up Montrose, going straight down, where Ricky Hillock's truck had run into the wall and Flower died? The NDP administration closed off that road like they closed off the Middle Street to the market building and built pillars and columns in the drain that was there.
Mr. Speaker, the honourable member is grossly misrepresenting what I said in my presentation. I never called for the disbandment of rural constables. I called, and he knows, I called for improved efficiency by training them and giving them additional responsibilities. You see, Mr. Speaker, that is why I say sometimes I wonder why I come to this honorable House and make points towards the betterment of our people only for persons who know better, for political, narrow partisan political purposes, to try to belittle me. But that is like throwing water on ducks' back. Can't belittle me. Everybody who listened, including you, honorable member, know exactly what I am saying. And your concern is why didn't you think of it? That's why you're so hard-pressed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, that's a wonderful point of order. Wonderful point of order. I never said that the honourable member said to dismantle the rural constables. I never said so. So, Mr. Speaker, where I was being disrupted is when I was explaining to you why the hospital started to flood. Because the New Democratic Party built a building in the road, the laboratories in the road. And the supporting columns were dug into the drain. The only man in St. Vincent who could go under there to clean that drain now is a fellow in Dunbarton named Crab. You all know Crab? Crab is the only man, and that's why they call him Crab. He is the only man who can go inside there and clear that drain. Everybody has freed it, because the drain goes so. It's a zigzag. Wrong the columns, the column footings. But you can't go and break down the lab. It's an important institution. Costs a lot of money. We took $20 million of the taxpayers' money and block off the Middle Street. Block it off. Change the whole flow of traffic in Kingston. And then last time, the honourable member for West Kingston said, remember, that we must close off, put the Leeward Highway project on hold, and take the money and build the bypass road from Lomans Bay to Otley Hall. That was the priority, and if we have anything left, to patch out the Leeward Highway.
Again, Mr. Speaker, a point of order. Total misrepresentation. Total, Mr. Speaker. I urge this government to include the bypass road as a critical component of the South Leeward Highway that will facilitate the easy execution of such a major project. Totally different.
Mr. Speaker, I have the tape. I played it on my program on Star on 2 separate weeks consecutively because people could not believe what the honourable member was saying. And as a friend, my dear colleague, I will get you the cassette. Send it to you. If you give me your email, I will email it to you. And I want you to listen to what you said. And I am not saying something wrong. That's what you said. Put it on hold. Patch out the pothole and them afterwards.
The Honourable Minister is repeating the allegation.
Yes. It's not an allegation, it's a fact.
I don't know how you expect me to rule. Here's a situation where you are standing on a point of order to say that he is speaking a mistruth. Correct. He's misrepresenting you. Yes. He says, look, I am not misrepresenting you. I have the tape which verifies what you said. Yes. So, on what basis must I tell him?
Oh, I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, the precedent is very simple. Until he presents the evidence, the precedent is he withdraws it until he presents the evidence. Yeah. That's the established precedent in this Honourable House, Mr. Speaker. That is the established precedent, Mr. Speaker. What do you know about you? Mr. Speaker, that is the established precedent.
Wait, hold on.
Mr. Speaker.
Let's alien to the truth.
May I just put an end to this, Mr. Speaker? I just put an end to it. Yes. I withdraw. Very well. I will deal with it politically. I won't deal with it in this house. I withdraw it. I will deal with him politically because I will print it in the newspaper.
My brothers and sisters, I don't want to talk about the roads. I don't want to talk about the roads. I don't want to get headache. Good heavens, you know, I have to drive on that South Leeward Highway from Botanical Gardens down to Camden Park very regularly, and oh Lord, God knows it's part of my ailment. Because every part of the vehicle shaking off. And if the vehicle can't take it, you know, the human body, worse. What a government. A project that should have been near completion now. Should be near completion. And as I always tell you, I can't wait. Because I know once I start digging up that road, the chaos, the headache, and the traffic and the nightmares with the heavy equipment and the long trailers and trucks and so forth. And just people wanting to move to and from. Lord help us when all we're required to do is to cut the alternative route from Camden Park to Kingston via Otley Hall and Edinburgh. But no, that is going to please Daniel Cummings. Daniel Cummings mustn't look good. So all the people must suffer because ULP ain't taking no advice from Daniel Cummings. You don't need my advice. Anybody with a pea brain will understand that. It's common sense. With such an important main road, so narrow and winding, with a total repair, you must have alternative routes. You must. You don't have to be an engineer to know that. Because the kind of vehicles that will run on those roads, you can't use a single lane in most parts. They're too long. It'll be impractical. And you can't tell people who have operations in the industrial estate in Camden Park that you can't function today because for this week or this month because we have to close the road. And then the minister tells me about using the alternative port. The problem is not going to be solved. A lot of material is moved from Port Camden Park to Kingston and vice versa. So you must need the road. You must keep the road open if the industrial estate is to function. But remember, you want to kill down to the fledgling little industries that going on down there. I don't care about people. Reassess the project. Include the alternative route in the project and do that as a priority. Maintain the road up to a level now until you can replace it and build the alternative route first. Mr. Minister, no wonder you're gone under somebody's wings. Irony is the man who got you under your wings didn't understand what a wing is yet. How could you be doing a project like that without an alternative? I mean, the international community must be watching us and laughing. The professionals and institutions like CDB and so on must be saying, Lord, these people don't know what engineering is, they don't know what planning is, they don't know anything about anything. They need somebody to tell them that this is not a practical solution, that they're going to have chaos in the country. Because you don't need an engineer to tell you that. A simple project manager looking at it will tell you, no sir, that is not practical. You cannot build this road in the manner you are proposing. You're going to create nightmares. You're going to hit the economy where it matters. The fledgling manufacturing industry down in Camden Park will suffer tremendously. And there's some of these industries that are so delicate that if you disrupt them for 1 to 3 months, they may lose their market share altogether. We don't understand these things. Put the project where it belongs. Revisit it. Build the alternative route. And then reconstruct the highway. And in the meantime, patch the roads. Fill the holes, man. Fill the holes. That is the way to go. But you're not listening.
I won't deal with it in this house. I withdraw it. I will deal with him politically because I will print it in the newspaper. And I will put it on television, I'll put it on YouTube, and I'll put it everywhere. So he will be embarrassed, not me. I withdraw it for the continuance of this discussion, if you want that. But I will deal with you politically on it, because you are very clear. You were very clear as to what you were saying. That is your problem. You speak some... Look, your honorable member here, never heard a suggestion from you to use rural constables in North Leeward. A man who suffered from predial larceny every week. He is your spokesperson on agriculture. But you want now tell the man to use the rural constables to go and stop mosquito. Mr. Speaker, but the point I was going to make is this. Last time, that was his priority on the South Leeward Highway. This time, we must close up all the works and dig the drain first. That is the priority on the Leeward Highway. Dig the drain first. After they mess it up, after they block the road and block the drain, he wants us to dig the drain first down by Hospital Road. So we must close off between Russell's and Victoria Park down to the gas station in Christmas season. Yeah. That's what you want us to do? With 40-foot containers? You see, if you study the project, if you spend time being unbiased, and look at it as an engineer, you will see that you are talking a lot of horse wash today.